And there is indeed mounting speculation that News Limited could announce its own shake-up as early as today. After Fairfax' shock announcement of yesterday, the company is cutting 1,900 jobs over 3 years and putting paywalls up on its online services.
Watching from the sidelines is mining magnate Gina Rinehart, now the biggest single shareholder in Fairfax. Hamish Fitzsimmons has more.
As Fairfax slashed its workforce, Gina Rinehart has cornered almost 19% of the company's shares and is expected to be offered 2 board seats.
I think Fairfax needs Gina a hell of a lot more than Gina needs Fairfax. The financial markets have cast a very dire judgment on the performance of Fairfax. Its share price is at 20-year lows.
As Fairfax shares moved west, staff were shell-shocked after the radical restructure was announced.
We've recently seen a bananas decision to outsource 60 sub-editors from Newcastle and Wollongong. It's just rubbish. So we would ask management to learn from past mistakes, learn to talk to their workers.
Management is talking, but it's not what journalists and other Fairfax staff want to hear.
There will be redundancies, including those already announced in Fairfax of the Future and the changes announced today. 1,900 people will be leaving the business over the next 3 years.
The Sydney Morning Herald and The Age will go to a tabloid size from next March, and Fairfax will close its printing presses in Sydney and Melbourne. The newspaper's websites will move behind a metered paywall, and the company says its emphasis will be digital.
We're going to do our best to make sure that The Age is here for a long time to come, and let's not forget that on our digital platforms we're market leaders. theage.com.au is one of the most successful news websites in the country.
But turning that popularity into profit is another thing.
Newspaper economics are crashing. The broadsheets are close to break even or even in loss. So they have to make some hard, long overdue decisions.
Fairfax CEO Greg Highwood outlined the company's digital future in this grainy video on Fairfax websites.
We're also changing the way we deliver our journalism, with a significant restructure of our metro editorial teams to ensure greater integration across print, digital and mobile platforms and better sharing across geographies.
Whether or not Fairfax has made the changes in time to adapt or be crushed by the new media environment is another matter. Andrew Jaspan edited The Age from 2004 to 8 and now runs the online opinion site The Conversation.
I salute the company, and I have one cheer for the company for actually finally getting round to that. The problem is it's 5 to 10 years too late, and the result of being too late is it's left the company in a very weak position.
Gina Rinehart's raid on Fairfax shares has prompted speculation. The mining magnate wants the papers to reflect her opinions.
What that means is that she will take this group in a different trajectory in terms of its editorial line, and what the impact of that will be, we don't quite know.
But economist Christopher Joy says changes will ultimately be commercially driven.
If there needs to be a change to editorial content, that'll be driven by revenue and profitability considerations, not by some ulterior ideological agenda.
This week promises more shake-ups in Australia's media sector, with News Limited preparing for its own major restructuring effort and resulting job cuts.
Traditional newspaper journalism is on the way out, and this is the biggest moment, the most decisive downsize that we've seen. But many more, hundreds of newspaper journalists are going to lose their jobs.
These are paper cuts that for many will be painful, but arguably fundamental for both Fairfax and News Limited's viability.